What is happening, guys? We are back with another The Reaction video. So massive apologies, we've been missing for a few weeks. Life gets in the way, what can I say? Today, I'm really happy to be reacting to a video that I've literally just found. I haven't seen the flight, I don't know the results. And it's from a recent championship out in Omsk, out in Russia, of some of the juniors. So, really excited for that one. So, let's get stuck straight into it. So guys, we are back with a bang, and I've been wanting to jump on and get one of these done. One, because you guys seem to be enjoying them, seem to be getting a lot out of it, and I enjoy doing them myself, but life gets in the way. So for you guys that have been messaging me, asking for videos, asking for me to respond to certain videos and stuff like that, really do appreciate that. So for you guys, maybe it's a first timer, make sure that you do hit that subscribe button, give it a thumbs up, give it a like, give it a little comment if you do feel so. So right, let's jump straight into this. I can say I haven't even watched this flight, I just came across it. As you search YouTube, by the way, YouTube has got some weird stuff on it. So yeah, use your keyword search wisely is a bit of advice I would give you. So this is from a recent championships from out in Omsk. 32 kilogram kettlebells, 73 kg bodyweight category, and this is amongst the juniors. So this is kind of like your under 20s. So the fact that these guys are 173 kegs, two under 20 years old, I'm gonna put myself out there and I'm gonna say we're probably gonna see some incredible results. What can I say? It's probably just a bit of a hunch, but kind of just goes hand in hand, doesn't it? So let's get stuck straight in. Let's see what happens here then. So straight away, what I'm doing when I'm looking at these things, I sort of cast my eyes down from the platform, from the first platform all the way down to the last platform. I'm looking at where people stand, how they carry themselves, how they hold the bells, what sort of technique do they have, and just start comparing the styles realistically. So obviously platform one, slightly wider than shoulder width apart on the old leg stance. You can see that these are going to a neutral grip, so when the bells are going back, it's a neutral grip. Kind of you're looking at same and same, so first dip and second dip are pretty much identical in terms of depth and way that is. You can kind of see they haven't got one that is a larger first dip and a shallower second dip and vice versa, as we've seen with other lifters, but really just pulling themselves down early on in into the flight here. But you'd expect people to be solid, especially at this level. A Russian championships, you would expect to see these guys really good. So slightly narrower stance compared to the athlete next to him. So as you can see, the way they're manipulating. Now, look at the acceleration pull. What's interesting here is the last athlete was pushing down, but as this athlete does the acceleration pull, it's almost like pushing down and lets himself come up, lets the momentum of the kettlebells take the heels and almost jumps them up. So if we have a look at the foot there, you kind of see the foot coming off the floor. Now, as a coach, in my opinion, I wouldn't like my athletes to do this. Reason being is I just find of that lack of instability comes back to bite you in the backside further down the line. But if you can control it well, then why not, So let's see where platform number 2 ends up in this. So now we've kind of got somewhere in between, not as narrow as the previous one, not as wide as the other one, but we've got thumbs forward grip, and we've also got a neutral bell grip, so we're not sort of turning the handles out, they're not rotated in, they're pretty much parallel, so you can kind of see the kettlebells are pointing straight forward with the handles going straight forward. So let's kind of see, it's still a little bit of a jump here as it's coming through, and slightly deeper first dip compared to second dip there. Not massive, you can't really see it massively, but kind of see as soon as those heels are landing, the pulling back. What's cool around this one though is if you just cast your eye down, look at the clean, look at how the triceps are staying really close to the body right the way through. So now we've got a pause rather than going from fixation down. then straight into the backswing of the clean. We've got somebody who's actually pausing and then cleaning, separating it down. Some athletes like this because it takes the momentum out of the kettlebells. Then they can sort of go again. Me personally, I like to go straight down, straight up unless I'm massively fatigued and my grip's starting to go, and that's when I'll start to pause from when I've come overhead. But a little bit more of an internally rotated grip there, and more of a bit of a scooping action with that clean. So you can kind of see how the knees are driving forward under the bells. So one, we've got all the way through. See how the feet aren't leaving the platform with this athlete now. Just dropping directly underneath, through, going straight down. Relatively neutral grip. Deep second dip there. So really forceful with that second dip, getting under the bells. Looks like he's blowing quite hard, but kind of sometimes when you look at athletes and you look at them and go, they're blowing quite hard, but actually a lot of athletes like to overemphasize the breath, and it helps them just kind of get the oxygen and keeps them moving. So sometimes looks are a bit deceiving here. Then final platform. Straight down. Heel lift on the old clean there as well. So everyone's kind of lifting the heels up, barring I think it was platform 1. Kind of makes sense with the lighter bodyweight category because obviously you just that momentum of the acceleration pull ends up just pulling up a little bit as well. So this clean is, when they're dropping, it's almost like a pause but going straight into it. So it's not like a reaction, it's like a break, definitive pause, then go again. Whereas if you watch some of the other guys, the way they clean, they drop and they go straight into it. Athlete number 3 on platform 3 has got a similar one. They kind of drop, pause, then go again. So just quite interesting to see that release point. And I think what's really important is you look at this, and I always go back to the principle. So what are they trying to do? So if you have that definitive pause, you are slowing down the momentum of the kettlebells, which might make you come back, re-grip the bells, take a bit of the pressure off the grip, but you are loading up the quads because it's a definitive pause. It's not like a reaction. So there's that trade-off all of the time. Now, arguably, your quads are going to be able to sustain a lot more work. So we'll see what happens further in. So we've got a bit of a reshuffle there, regathering. He's actually brought his stance in a little bit. So if we think about it, and now you can kind of see how the toes lifted there. You can really see that he's shifting his weight back and pulling the kettlebells through, which then causes those toes to lift. Again, coming back over. So athlete number 3, he has moved himself back to the end of the platform. Let's see where that ends up. Let's hope nobody falls off the edge of the platform here. So we've got our pause coming through, then back through. But look at the speed of the second dip, and I think this is where I think a lot of athletes should spend a lot more time, and I'm trying to integrate it with my guys in terms of speed and reaction. It's more of a plyometric type movement at times in terms of jerk and the release from the clean. And I think the problem that a lot of people have is they try and muscle that. So they're actually working against themselves. It's kind of like revving a car in a low gear, but slightly having the handbrake on when you're trying to muscle it. You can kind of see as soon as they hit second dip, they are trying to pull the legs back and just take the tension out of the quads, which again is a massive one. If you think your quads are doing a lot of work, they're sending the kettlebells up, catching, supporting you when you're in rack position. So as soon as you send them up and you're able to shake them off and relax them overhead, it really is crucial. So let's have a quick look at the results here. We've got a really, really strong flight here. So we're 7 minutes in. We've got 50 reps, 48, 49 just gone. So this is a super, super close flight. Like I say, I have no idea on who's going to take this, but this minute here, this is kind of the crucial one. You can kind of see where people's technique starts to break down a little bit. Platform 3, 57. Platform 4, 53, 57, and 50. So again, a super, super close flight here. You're talking a couple of reps from first and all the way down to fourth. So platform number 3, see that little cheeky glance there? He's just had a little glance down the platform, see if he needs to accelerate or keep pushing forward. Looks like that little glance has given that spur on to move forward. He's still ridiculously close to the edge of the platform for my liking, especially as his feet are lifting and he could easily pull himself back there. So coming up to the last 90-ish seconds now. This is an incredibly close flight. 62, 63 look like the lead here. So it's kind of the battle for third place. 63, 64 between platform 3 and platform 5. Who's gonna there? There we go. Looks like platform 5 is really dragging them up a little bit. Still moving strong and really having to pull them in. Grip looks like it's given slightly, but not massively. Platform number 3 is looking really strong. Very, very consistent. Can you see how platform 3, the path of the kettlebells is relatively short? See how it's straight into rack. Look at platform number 5. He's kind of really pulling down, pulls it up, and it sinks in a little bit as well. Just those small, subtle differences there, not massive. Platform number 6 really struggled digging deep, but this is incredible. Remember, these are 73 kilo bodyweight category. So they're lifting 232, so that's 64. So talking, that's a big old chunk of their body weight they're shifting there, you know. So being able to shift this weight for this amount of time. Looks like he's speeding up now. Platform 6, he's having a little bit of an acceleration. Last 40 seconds, he's going to go for it. Let's see where he ends up. Platform 5's really pushing. Platform 3 looks like he's accelerated and maintaining that couple of reps advantage that he's got. Maintain that. That is incredibly close to the end of the platform there. That is mad. That is mad. If that was me, I would have fallen off by now. 10 seconds left. Who have we got? Who have we got? We've obviously got platform number 3, then platform number 5. Number 5, he stopped early. Nice. So platform 3 in first place. Platform 5 second. Platform 1 and 2. Wow, that is really cool. What an awesome flight that was. Let me just pull that back a little bit. We get up to the last minute here. So guys, like I say, this is the first time I've seen it, and I think for me, when I'm looking at these sorts of things, it's just really cool to watch the differences in the technique. Now, the biggest thing that with all of this, every single one, barring platform 1, had a heel lift on the clean. And obviously, little things, you look at the lighter bodyweight category, so they're going to be coming up. But it's not like it's artificially kind of manufactured. So what I mean by that, it's not like it's done on purpose. It's almost like that acceleration pull. And then as they move the body back and up, it's like the weight of the kettlebell is just lifting the body slightly. And I think sometimes we get confused in the West specifically. We look at that and we try and make the movement come from the calves, when actually, when you look at it, it's more of just a reaction to the momentum of the kettlebells lifting up. So if you think they've got well over 50% of their body weight shifting them up, as you would expect, if it's coming forward at a rapid rate through the acceleration pull, it's going to lift them up, right? If you're a 100 kg lifter and you're artificially trying to put that heel lifting and the acceleration pull, probably you don't need that, you know? And the heavier lifters, you might not see this as much because they're able to put the power down and transfer the weight back. But really, really cool flight. Last 30 seconds of this flight again. The way platform number 3 was able to stay in control right the way through was awesome, man. You know, really, really cool to see. You can kind of see he had that bit of a pause in the clean air. Be interesting to know if his grip was going or if he knew he was just that far ahead. He just sort of coasted into it a last little bit there. But yeah, all athletes on that one could be well proud, and looks like we had a few PBs on there as well. Really, really cool. Really, really cool. So, guys, like I say, I really enjoyed that. And I think that's the thing. When you look at these videos, you look at these athletes, I think sometimes it's good just to take into perspective, one, bodyweight category, big factor, age of the athlete as well. I mean, 70-odd reps, you know, across the board, not even 20 years old. with lifting body weight at 73 kegs, and you can kind of see those guys were not big guys relative, like in terms of muscular development. These weren't huge guys. So I think that's the really cool thing about the sport. You know, it doesn't really, you don't have to be a big muscle bound athlete to do well, even though it is a weight based sport. You know, I think that's the cool element of this. And I think when you look at those guys, look at the variations of the clean, ask yourself, what can I take from that and what can I put into my own training? For me, I always ask myself, I write down a few notes, what can I take away from this and implement with my guys that I'm coaching? And I think the biggest thing for me is looking at it and you're going, right, okay, sometimes I get carried away with pushing down to go back up, but am I asking too much of my lighter athletes to be able to do that? Is that the wrong thing or is that the right thing? You know, watching these videos, you're like, maybe not, you know? So it's going to be really interesting to see. And like I say, it keeps my coaching mind going. But the one thing that is consistent with all of those guys is speed of second dip and how everything is a reaction. So as soon as they've initiated that bump phase, it's bang. It's like a bullet from the gun. They're getting deep under it really quick. The clean variations, I think that's athlete dependent, you know, and that's the thing that you've got to consider. It is always athlete dependent with that when you're trying to apply a certain technique, you know. Really cool video. I enjoyed that. Like I say, I'll make sure that I react to some of your recommendations from a few weeks ago. I know that I'm a bit behind, but hey, hopefully you forgive me. But guys, really enjoyed that. Let me know, what was your biggest takeaway from that video? Did you enjoy it? What was your biggest takeaway? What are you going to do with your own training with the information that we've chatted about? As always, massive thank you for you guys. Your support really does keep me going. Helps me spread the message of kettlebell sport out there, because ultimately that's what it's all about. Let's make it a well-known sport. Let's get it into the schools. Let's get people accessing the sport and enjoying the benefits of the sport. So until next time, guys, have a great one. It's been a pleasure as always, and we'll catch up again very soon.